Hello, Mojave County. It's Ed Mack here. I was thinking about some things today. We have an election coming up here pretty soon. And you people, please pay attention. We have to elect the right people. And as you can see, our nation is just falling apart. And so much of us are caught up in our lives, our work, our families, our business. The thing is, we're not going to be able to enjoy this much longer unless we start to pay attention. I know a lot of you guys say, oh, well, Trump's in, we're okay for the next 4 to 8 years. Yeah, that's nice way of thinking, but that's not, it's not realistic. We got to think about our local elections and our mayoral race that's coming up, and we have some House Representative seats going to be coming up here pretty soon, and I believe we're doing a special election for our county supervisor. Very important, you guys. I was talking to a gentleman today how we can utilize the property up there in Yucca, and Yucca is already zoned for industry. And being in the gun manufacturing business, I have lots of friends that own factories. And like I said in the past, if we gave them the incentive, the tax incentive to come here, they have lots of jobs. We live in a resort city here in Lake Havasu. The houses are astronomical. They're overpriced, and I'm going to say it. They are totally overpriced. They're not worth. They are not worth. When you see a 1,700 square foot home, you know, with an RV garage for 700 grand, 600 grand, 500 grand, that's insane, you guys. It's just, it does not compute with the you know, the average. Well, I think the median household income here, if I can remember, I did some research on it. I don't want to say 41, I want to say like 31,000. I'm not sure, I'd have to look back at it. It does not support that type of an income. If we could put industry here, like out in Yucca, we could bring in good paying jobs, factory jobs, and that'll allow us to grow, and we'll be able to have more of you know, more developments and get the prices down to realistic prices, because the prices here, I just feel so sorry for the working family here. The working family will never have a chance to buy one of these homes. It's actually disgusting. The way our nation's gone, that, you know, mom and dad has to work. It's sad because it's, you know, they worked. The kids are being brought up by, you know, Hollywood and television and the internet. No wonder we have school shootings. I mean, think about it. There's no more dinner table. Mom and dad is not discussing anything with the children anymore. That's gone. It's over with. And it's sad. And, you know, it's our fault. And I'll tell you why, because we keep electing morons in. You know, some of these people, they go into office, they promise you all these things, and they lie. They get in there, they get controlled by lobbyists. Lobbyists are the worst people. Lobbyists and attorneys, oh my God, they're ruining our country. They get in and they promise you all these things, and the next thing you know is they're with the status quo again. You know, I mean, just nothing's changing. So I look at it this way. People say, you know, the sheriff can't do anything. Actually, the sheriff can do so much. The reason why people don't speak out is because they're afraid to speak out. How do you speak out? You know, you're afraid of retaliation. You're afraid of getting, you know, and then you might say, oh, Ed, you're gone off the deep end. No, I have not gone off the deep end. There is retaliation, I know. There is retaliation, trust me. And I've been a victim of it before, and it just depends on how you play your cards, then you end up not becoming a victim of that retaliation. And I think I played my cards pretty well. But this is what I'm trying to say here. Being afraid of retaliation, you know, people don't speak out. They're afraid. You know, am I going to get ticketed? Is my house, you know, going to get raided? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying paranoid, crazy stuff. I'm just saying the mentality of people, and I've said, I go, why don't you say something? Why are you telling me this? Why don't you speak? Oh, I'm afraid I'll get a ticket. I'm afraid that my house will get raided. These are normal business people I've talked to. They're afraid their house is going to get raided. I'm like, your house is not going to get raided just because you speak out against the mayor or speak out against a supervisor. But that's the mentality that we've had in this nation now. People are afraid. They're afraid to speak out. They're afraid, you guys. So that's when we have a good, strong sheriff, and guess what? That sheriff steps up to the plate and he says, you know what, people? We're going to take back our county. We're going to take back this country, county by county. And how we do that is he stands up. The people have a platform. They can speak. They're sitting there going, wow, I have a strong sheriff. I don't have to worry about retaliation. No one's going to come against me. This is a constitutional sheriff. We don't see constitutional sheriffs anymore. The sheriffs that we see now, gun-free zones that they want, they they spend frivolously, like, for instance, 87 suppressors. Just things that we don't need. They waste our money. Some turn a blind eye. I'm not saying ours is. I'm saying that some turn a blind eye. Some get involved with cronyism. Some people get dirtied up. And once you get dirtied up, you guys, there's not much you can do. I mean, let me tell you something. There's a movie called John Wick. My friend told me. He goes, Ed, you're in politics. You need to watch that movie, John Wick. I think it's John Wick. He says it's about a man that he's got all this stuff on all these politicians, and I guess his house gets burnt down or something. His warehouse gets burnt down, and he didn't care about all the money that he lost. What he cared about was the book with all the dirty deeds of the politicians that he had on the politicians. And he says, man, I don't care about the money. I could have got all that money back with that book. So, it's sad, but that's what happens. Politicians get in, they get dirtied up, or they get bought, and that's the end of it, you guys. It's just the status quo again. This is really going on. It's usually the very wealthy people that are involved, and like I said, the corporations and the lobbyists, they're all in bed together. So what we need to do is we need strong sheriffs in this country. And if we can become an example in this county, guess what? We can get back our country back. We definitely can. But it's going to take businessmen, businesswomen to get in there. I mean, look at Donald Trump. The guy's a billionaire. You don't need nothing. You don't care. I love his attitude. I mean, he's just like, he does not care. He speaks his mind. That's awesome. The thing is with Donald Trump, he don't need the money. So, you can't bribe him. And you can't say, hey, he don't care. I mean, he has all the money. He is rich. He is powerful. And we need to get people in there that are not greedy. They don't care about the money. People that are business owners. People that know how to balance a budget and not waste frivolously. Who's going to bail me out if I screw up here in this company? Who's going to bail me out at my house if I go out and buy a bunch of stuff I don't need? No one's going to bail me out. No one's going to bail me out. I'm going to be out on the street. I'm going to lose everything. So I have to budget everything correctly here. I have to be very smart. There's a Bible scripture. No man builds a home without, doing the cost, counting the cost of how much that house is going to build. Because if he doesn't count the cost and plan accordingly, and he builds that home and he can't finish building it, he's going to look like an absolute fool. And not just that, he's going to lose that home. So, I mean, you guys, come on, please, pay attention. You might say, the next guy, or my neighbor will worry for me, or my mom will worry for me, or my brother's into politics. He'll vote the right way. It doesn't work that way. You need to get involved, because your little cushy life, or even if you do have a cushy life, is going to be down the toilet eventually. You're going to wake up one day and the stock market's going to crash. I mean, things are going to really change in this country eventually, and you're going to go like this, oh my God, I lost my gun rights. Oh my God, I can't go to the grocery store, there's no food. Don't think that won't happen just because we're modern day. Because history proves that this can't happen, and history does repeat itself. This whole gun grabbing thing, that is an agenda, you guys. And, if you look at all the histories, dictators like Hitler, Stalin, Mao Zedong, they disarm the populace, okay? They will pass laws, every little school shooting, any excuse to get rid of firearms. In my company, we have a credit card machine. Guess how many credit card companies I went through? Now why? I had to go through so many? Because we sell firearms, okay? If one of my dealers want to buy, like, let's say $10,000 worth of lowers or whatever, like a couple hundred, and the banks don't like guns. So what they do, they nudge you and they push you so you can't sell guns with a credit card, okay? Well, thank God for the NRA. Also, another thing is with this this herb called kratom, K-R-A-T-O-M. What the credit card companies are doing right now, why? Because of the lobbyists. They are not allowing orders to be able to buy this painkiller, legal herb that gets people off opiates, gets people off heroin, it gets people off methamphetamine, it gets people off antidepressants, it gets people off anti-anxiety pills, it gets people off drinking alcohol. It does not make you drunk, it doesn't drug you up, it doesn't do anything like that. It actually helps people. Pharmaceutical industry doesn't like that because people are getting off all these drugs. So what do? The lobbyists get involved. They lobby the FDA, they lobby the DEA. And guess what? Now they're trying to categorize this herb as a class 1 narcotic next to heroin. I want you to think about that, you guys. The statistics of kratom, it's killed 40 people in the last 10 years. 40 people! And guess who, when they did the toxicology? Heroin, cocaine, alcohol, heart medicine, all these combinations with kratom. But kratom never kills you alone. So I want you to think about that, people. Tylenol kills 100,000 people a year. Tylenol, and you're covered, kills 100,000 people a year. But guess what? Tylenol is legal. Why? Pharmaceutical companies are making money. Big business, you guys, lobbyists, attorneys, and politicians. They all get together and guess what? You, the voter, get screwed every time. So it does start with the sheriff of your county. We have to elect a strong sheriff, a good sheriff, a constitutional sheriff. Now, I told you that I am considered running for sheriff, but I'll tell you what, if someone steps up and is constitutional and will do right by the people, I'll throw my support, my money, everything I can towards them. I told you I don't want the job. I don't want it because I have a really good life here. You know, I have a nice gun factory, I have a great family, I have a really, really cushy life. But I'm willing to sacrifice my life, my time, my family, everything to get our country back, one county at a time, and I will do it. Our forefathers died. They fought for what is right. They lost everything, people. They lost everything for what is right. You people need to stand up. I'm asking you guys to please pay attention. I'm going to make a list here pretty soon of the politicians that I'm going to support. I will financially support them. I will throw my complete support, everything that I got, behind them. And I'll let you know who they are. But don't always take, you know, just because I'm going to spoon feed you that. Don't say, oh, wow, Ed Mack supports this person. I want you to do research on that person yourself. I've done my research. Today I had an interview with one of our politicians, or one of our candidates. I'm not going to say the gentleman's name, but I liked him. He spent about 3 hours with me. And I will support this man. I know he's going to do what is right. He's going to do what's right by us. So, soon, I will have that list for you guys. And I just want to throw all this out there for you. And I want to thank you for your time and you viewing this. And God bless, and see you next time. Ed Mack.